Like and subscribe right now, or else this will be in your bed tonight. r/AskReddit by Wality. What's the worst thing you've ever been accused of while being completely innocent? Posted this before, but seems relevant. I was fighting with my brother, realized the fight was dumb, so I just went to my room. My brother decided to punch himself and blame me. My mom is yelling at me and grounding me. I can't believe you did that to your brother. Blah blah blah. So I figured if I was about to get in trouble for it, I should actually do it. I turned around and actually clocked my brother in the face, to which he responded, "I can't believe she actually did that," and my mom realized he had been lying. I ended up not getting in trouble. So many people with siblings are living vicariously through you right now. My sister put soap on her toothbrush, then blamed me and my brother once. I was actually kind of impressed at the time. Cries in being the smallest. Drugs. Shockingly enough, my parents' divorce made me act out at 9 years old, and I kept distracting other kids in class. My mom was convinced it was because I was doing drugs and yanked hair out of my head and made me get blood tested. They found nothing, because I was 9 years old. You mean you weren't doing cocaine at 9? Did you even have a childhood? You heard it here first, folks. I'm so sorry to disappoint my fans, but unfortunately 9-year-old me just wasn't hard. Rookie Mayo. I was accused of destroying a window at school by dropping a rock from a higher floor. Interrogated by the principal. Parents were called. Friends had to fund the repairs. Bullied on the bus. It fucking sucked. Found out who it was 2 years later, but by then nobody cared. Why did your friends have to fund the repairs? The owner never came forward, so the repairs were shared between the class. I would just say no. I helped a friend of my mother move when I had just turned 18 for no pay, and this lady accused me of stealing one of her guns. I booked it straight to the police department to explain the situation. When she tried to report me, they told her she was crazy. They already spoke to me, and that criminals that steal guns don't go directly to the police. The person who goes to the police first is usually seen as the victim by the police. Edit. I want to mention that I'm referring more to he said she said scenarios. For example, my friend and I walk up to you at 12 AM at a gas station while holding knives, and we demand money. You are a concealed carry holder and pull your weapon on us. My friend and I run off. This is a basic and common scenario. You don't call the police. I call the police and tell them that my poor helpless friend and I asked someone for gas money and that we got a gun pulled on us. I can have my friend back my story. You can tell your story after the fact and hope the gas station had a security camera. It was 12 AM, remember? There probably aren't any other witnesses to support you. Maybe gun thieves should go to the police first. Officer help. The IRS is claiming I stole their money. This is tame compared to others in this thread, but it's one that has stuck with me for ages. When I was really little, around 6, my aunt was babysitting me. My sweet dog was shedding fur. My aunt accused me of cutting her fur. She had me across her knee saying she wouldn't spank me if I admitted it. I was sobbing uncontrollably because I loved my dog. We were the same age and she was like a second mom, and would never do that to her. My mom came home not long after and I do remember her being livid. Despite my issues with my mom, she never once laid a hand on me. My mom couldn't believe that her sister never comprehended that animal sheds fur in clumps. Man. Trying to force a false confession under duress. Not something I usually associate with a 6-year-old. If she sings, she's innocent. If she swims, she's a witch. What else burns? Wood. Does wood sink or float? What else floats? Ducks. Little rocks. Probably kicking my young son. I was carrying something like hot tea or soup and he went to grab me, so I put my knee out to stop him getting close to me and scalding himself. But for some reason, everyone else in the room thought I kicked him or kneed him. Very strange situation. During one of the busiest shifts at a cafe bar I used to work at, while hastily carrying lots of orders at once, I accidentally kicked this very little boy running around. I went to the wardrobe crying after apologizing and treating him and his mom. They were very nice about it all, and turns out he ran into my leg and fell on his bum. I did not kick him. We all laid about it afterwards, but I kept feeling so bad about it for the rest of the day. About 5 years ago I was learning to snowboard. Had a teacher show me stuff on the bunny hill. I was going down with very little control when a 5-year-old kid and I slowly collided into each other. It was slow enough that I clearly saw it coming, but neither of us could prevent it. After the hit, he started crying and telling his dad he wanted to go home. It sucked. This happens in restaurants more than you think. It's just a little annoying that parents allow children to wander around in front of people carrying food and drinks. When I was 16, I was riding with a friend back to another friend's house and the cops pulled him over. I had nothing on me. He, unbeknownst to me, threw a bag of coke underneath my chair. Cops found it, put us both in jail, took him to county, 17 yo. Took me to juvie, 16 yo. He got out before me and hired a lawyer. Pinned it on me through family connections. Got the charges reduced from a felony to a misdemeanor cause I was a good kid and it showed. Ruined my life for a good 5 years. Just heard that the kid all grown up broke into his ex-GF's house to steal drugs and is pretty much a burnout loser. I'm applying for law school next spring. That's so messed up. What a terrible person. Glad to hear you're doing a bit better. Thanks, and thanks for the question. Really put things into perspective for me. Good luck on your applications. Join our community Discord, link in description. I was 14 and had just started to learn how to use a digital camera. The only one I had at the time was my mom's. Sometime after my birthday, the SD card that was my mom's went missing. My dad immediately went to blame me for it and my mom was hoping I didn't do it. After over an hour of interrogating me, we still couldn't find it. Come to find out my mom had put it in her normal place of valuables she keeps it in. I didn't even get a fucking apology. Edit. Spelling. I had something just like this, but I was using my little sister's DS to transfer Pokemon. She had Mario Kart in it, and I had put it back in the case after I was done. The case had a flap that covered the games to protect them. She can't find it the next day, so everyone jumps on my behind and blames me for losing it. After searching I said wait a minute, and got her case, and sure enough, the game is right there. Saying I lost a game and then telling me I have to replace it for over an hour. And it was right where I fucking put it. No apology or anything. Stodayarlearnigl infuriates me. Had just moved to a new school in 5th grade. Was never great at making new friends. So I thought I'd sugar them up by bringing sugar mixed with Kool-Aid. Something that was popular at my old school. Who doesn't love a bunch of 10-year-olds licking their fingers and dipping them in a baggie of sugar? Apparently, an older kid had given several first graders heroin during this time and it got pegged on me. I was removed from class. Police came. I cried like a BCH because I didn't understand why they thought my grape Kool-Aid was heroin. I kept telling them to taste it. The principal finally did and realized I was telling the truth. Awesome first week of school. Did you get some street cred? Not OP, but once I got street cred at school for beating up a kid that everyone hated. He ruined my tech deck and I was really pissed, but I only hit him once on the arm. The thing was though, I had to chase him down first and he was quick, so the chase went through the entire school right as class was getting out and literally everyone saw the chase but almost no one saw the fight. I'm sorry that you were blamed for it, but I'm hung up on the fact that someone fucking gave first graders heroin. Did they ever find who really did it? In 3rd grade I walked to a convenience store with $2 and spent 20 minutes trying to decide what candy to get, picking things up and putting them back. The old lady clerk accused me of stealing and said to never come back. That was a bit problematic given it was the only gas station in my small town, and I've moved back and been living here for the last 15 years. Have you gone back? His car has been running on empty for 15 years. Couldn't get petrol. Dude had no choice but to found Tesla. We lived in a townhome condo complex. My mom was fighting with the board over misused funds. When she was at work there was a knock at our door. One of the neighbors had an emergency and asked if I could come and watch her kids while she went to the hospital. Sure. I was 16 and had been babysitting for 4 years. I spent a few hours looking after 2 cute kids, 3 and 5. I got home before my mom. We started dinner and there was a knock at the door. It was a pair of police. The mother had gone to the police station and accused me of abusing her 3-year-old. She said that I hit her and locked her in the dryer for several hours. My mom asked the cop if he was insane. She pointed out that I was the kid who picked caterpillars off the walk and put them on the grass so people didn't step on them. She asked the cops to point out the complainant. When he pointed, my mom asked me if I was crazy because that's the woman who stole funds from the condo board. Why would I go there? I said I didn't know that and that she said she had to go to the hospital immediately because her dad had had a heart attack. The cops said they would be back. They came back an hour later and said I would not need to come with them after all. Turns out dad was alive and well. I wasn't so well after having a full-blown panic attack for an hour. What a BCH. I don't understand people like that. I mean, just why? My mom was fighting with the board over misused funds. She asked the cops to point out the complainant. When he pointed, my mom asked me if I was crazy because that's the woman who stole funds from the condo board. Getting caught misusing funds would mean she would have to repay them. Getting a cash settlement lawsuit in the meantime possibly means she wouldn't have to pay much or might make a tiny bit more. I can't believe someone would stoop that low. Disgusting. My sister's friend who lived with my family for a while when we were like 15-18 accused me of rape. She told my dad, my stepmom, my sister, all her friends and my friends at our school that I raped her. I had to find out because people were coming up to me in the halls ready to throw hands. I found her during lunch and confronted her in front of all her friends and asked why people thought I raped her. She ended up admitting that she made it up because she had a huge crush on me. She also later accused my older brother, my best friend, her ex-boyfriend, and another guy. She is a very toxic person. Jeez. Some people have bizarre ways to tell you that they have a crush on you. You killed my parents. Your parents are standing right over there. I love you. Why don't you love me? We lived in a pretty yucked up household, haha. It was a very complicated dynamic. When I was 11 I was accused by a babysitter that I was molesting my sister when I was really playing my Nintendo DS with her. It was completely unbelievable because she said that she made it all up because she didn't want to change diapers. She got fired by my mom and the last I saw her she was living in her car. She sounds mentally ill. Things probably could have turned out a lot worse with her as a babysitter, not that what happened wasn't shitty enough. I was 9 and a Girl Scout. I was attending a Girl Scout camp and the leader accused me of throwing trash around the campsite. She made me sit in a chair in the corner of a building. I remember crying over the whole situation. For the record, I didn't throw trash around the campsite. The leader was a mean woman. Did anyone actually have a good time in Girl Scouts? I really don't remember if I enjoyed Girl Scouts. I know this leader caused me worry and anxiety. I quit Girl Scouts when I was 11. Like and subscribe for good luck.